ban out the Lycan, and that seems on point with what they want to accomplish this game.
Yeah. So Power Rangers, they will ban out the Skywrath first as they look to pick themselves up that Brewmaster for their first pick. And I almost think Skywrath is more of a danger to Brewmaster than the Doom is, because at least Doom is a bigger cooldown, right? Like, you waste a pretty big ability when you throw Doom on a Brewmaster. When Skywrath is thrown out the silence, it's like small cooldown, 6-second silence, no big deal. At least Doom has to use something, although Doom could still shut down this Brewmaster completely by himself. The instant hex on Shadow Shaman into his shackles could also look to do that. So you can see the Brewmaster picked up first a lot. I've seen Power Rangers do it quite a bit as I was casting the Game Show League. Brew is very popular through that entire tournament's qualifiers. So I don't know if you got anything else to say on the Brewmaster, and obviously a lot of other picks and bans. Lycan banned out this time. I'm gonna put that in the brain.
Yep, does stretch out the game in general. Tinker's going to be taken off as well, so not stretched out that much, but even still, there's going to be just really, everything's going to orient around these team fights and these cooldowns. Doom, Primal Split, and the Mass Serpent Wards, and really when they are utilized, if that's going to be a successful team fight into a push, or if the wards are going to be required to win the fight. But this adds another aspect entirely, the IO global presence. So far, nothing that can really be brought to the fight very easily. I mean, maybe you can bring the Doom in, but obviously they're going to pick something that works well with it. We've seen Morphling work well with the combo. Mantis would take that to the mid lane if that was the case, and we've seen that use a great effect from Team Secret most recently. Otherwise, yeah, there's obviously the classic Tiny, Chaos Knight maybe. Sven is my personal favorite and is pretty good against the Brew, but of course you have to worry about a lot of different aspects like the mischance there. So probably if I had to have the greatest preference, it would be Riki and then Morphling as my top two, but obviously there are so many heroes to make work, and Tiny is the most popular.
Could see the CK. I can't remember if it was them, but again, casting last weekend, I did see one of these European teams, again, I can't remember if it was either of these two, pick up the Wisp CK, so maybe they want to go for it. CK is, I don't know, he's a strong hero, he can just get treads and drums, and he can be a pretty strong fighting force, he's pretty mana dependent, so the Wisp helps out, but I think with the Phantasms change, the 50% chance to get another Phantasm really, really helps with the pushing, like, it's incredible, but not going to worry about it. The Gyrocopter, and, well, I mean, Gyrocopter's not the best hero, you know, in terms of getting one pick off, but just bringing, you know, IO bringing the Gyrocopter into your team fight for the Flat Cannon, the Rocket Barrage, the Call Down, all that disruption and damage later on, it can be pretty dangerous, and you don't really need Wisp's best friend. I mean, he can keep anyone alive. Even keeping the Doom alive is going to be really big in the team fights, or even teleporting the Shadow Shaman to a tier 2 or a tier 3 to drop Serpent Wards and then going back. I don't know. He can be pretty useful, or he could get shut down and do nothing. I guess that goes for everybody, but...
Yeah, I think Power Rangers have a really good handle on this draft, to be honest. The IO Gyrocopter is fine. It's a great synergy there, but it is going to be countered so hard by both the Enigma and the Brewmaster. Gyrocopter's chance to hit a target that isn't his primary target with Flat Cannon is very minimal when he's hit by Drunken Haze. And then the Enigma is a great hero that can respond to relocates. Just drop a black hole right where the circle is, right when they're going to show up, and there is absolutely no way to counter it. Maybe you can prep yourself with a BKB. Maybe the IO can break the tether when he sees it to pretty much sacrifice himself to the Enigma's cooldown. But beyond that, there is no answer, and already with these hard disables out the Bane as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's no stun coming into that, right? At least not for a while. Homing Missile has to set up. Tether no longer stuns or breaks the channeling, so Enigma can honestly just wait for them to show up before he even drops the black hole. And then you've got the Enfeeble, too. The mischance for the Gyrocopter, as well as the Enfeeble from the Bane for the Gyrocopter. He's going to need quite a few items to get going in this game. Or, you know, a Magnus with Empower coming out here. So Magnus looking to take up his crown, I guess, in the mid lane. Potentially, it doesn't have to go there. Could even safe lane or something. Maybe have a duo middle lane. Gyrocopter is still a really good mid hero, and I think actually could zone out the Brew decently. But then you're maxing your Rocket Barrage and your Homing Missile, and not so much your stack farming abilities in the Flat Cannon.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a very binary teamfight game. Either xGame are just going to absolutely destroy the teamfights with maybe some good RP play. Gyrocopter just gets to sit back and then just unload with everything he has. Or Power Rangers are going to take it. Like, they can just prevent the RP in any way that they can, keep whoever is doomed alive as long as possible and shut down the gyrocopter with things like you mentioned, the Enfeeble, the Drunken Haze. Gyrocopter needs a BKB so bad, but even then he's still going to be susceptible to 2 big ultimates. So we'll see how the landing phase plays out. The Bane Mirana combo is generally pretty good for getting those early pickoffs, but if Magnus, Doom, and Gyro all find some farm, that's a lot of cores to shut down.
Indeed it is. And taking a look at some of those last bans, I think the last one really touched on was the Tinker and Batrider being taken out, and the bans disappear. So I think Puck was one of those last heroes banned out, and it will be the Nature's Prophet picked up here by Power Rangers. So you're going to come in with your IO +1. Well, if Nature's Prophet isn't already there, at least he can show up, and who knows, they might already be trapped in the black hole on J4's Enigma. So J4... I don't know, he usually pops out to me as a strong Rubik player for the side of Power Rangers, but it looks like he'll be taking up the 4 role, maybe even a little higher than that, because Enigma can get a lot. Like, you can see Enigma at the top of the net worth charts at like 10 minutes into the game, even though they're technically a support.
Yeah. Curious to see if there's going to be any warding shenanigans. The jungle seems pretty important for Power Rangers. He's already going to start off with the Sentry Ward. In fact, yeah, J4 does not want to be locked down in his jungle. Going to pick up some Clarities, the Sentries. He is really going to be tied to that thing. But if they get some good observers down and he isn't able to take them down with the first set of Sentries, that might be pretty huge. For now, you can see the line drawn on the map, and it looks like it's going to be a gank attempt on middle through a long path through the Dire jungle. Eventually, yeah. Right through the tier 1. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, he picks up the Sentry. Oh, are they actually going for the Sentry drop down? Interesting. All the way back there. I don't know what they're trying to do with that Sentry.
Misclick. They probably were trying to pass it to their ally.
Yeah, because the Courier's there like, hey, I'm ready to pick up the Sentry, but Sentry is already on the ground, so a bit of a mistake, and I'm kind of surprised Power Rangers don't smoke up into their own jungle, because they buy those Sentries anticipating them going in here and warding up, so if you're PR, if you feel like maybe you've got the better level 1 fight, which I think... Honestly, they might, especially if an arrow lands, and then you got that big thunderclap.
I think only if an arrow lands, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, basically only if it lands. But here they are. I mean, we saw that xGame drew the arrow down to the Roshan, and Power Rangers are just waiting here in the trees right beside it. Maybe someone walks by. Daytime, I think they have the tower vision. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, xGame wants to ward up, and they do. They will block 3 camps, 2 using sentries, 1 using a ward and Enigma. Well, unfortunately wasted one of his sentries, but he can place one up here, and that will actually miss that sentry block in the camp, so yeah, they miss it.
Oh boy, yeah, he has to either go for the Ancients now or into the Radiant Jungle. Those were his only 2 options. The Dire Jungle is essentially worthless for him now.
Yeah. I mean, he can offlane. We've seen, I guess it's EG most notably who plays the Enigma, and we've seen them just, duo offlane Enigma Beastmaster quite a few times. You can almost do the same thing with
mid.
The Nature's Prophet. I mean, it's only 3 minutes, right? Sentries, so... Oh, mid. There we go. More important things happening. Shocklow. What would we do without Blaze here? He's in a bit of trouble. He doesn't have his Drunken Brawler up yet, just the Thunderclap, which he did use, and they're chasing him down. The 17% move speed from that tether. It's going to be retethered up now. It was Skewer skilled up first, so no shockwave damage, and now eating up those tangos. He's got another clap available if he wants it. It's, yeah, the first blood coming out, and caught on the Wisp will pick it up, and I kind of like the fact that Wisp gets the first blood. It's going to really accelerate his, he can buy a bottle right now. Mid lane secured for xGame.
Yeah, they got the initiation there, arrow after the Nightmare, and that took a lot of damage out of Stallcat, but are they going to be able to finish him off right now? Trying to tango up. There's the Nightmare, there's another arrow, and that is going to be an easy kill. This time going to the Bane.
Supports, man, those filthy kill stealers right there. We just sick. FNG's replacement here for PR, and I gotta say, he's pretty sick. He's been playing really well for the side of PR. So it is a duo mid. I was expecting maybe Gyro, but maybe that's just my personal bias, wanting to see Gyro back into the mid lane a little bit. But it will be Magnus and the Wisp trying to shut down this Brew, and they've already killed him once. Brew sitting at 4-0, though, already more CS, so I think he'll be okay in the lane. Probably not too pressured. Unless he gets over-aggressive and skewered back into the tower range, I think this Brew will be just fine.
So we're going to see Cheshire Cat on the offlane doing a little bit as far as the movement of the trans, but for the most part, he is just going to lose out on this creep wave. Fortunately, now it is stacked up, a double wave, essentially, and it looks like, yeah, Mantis are just going to kind of push based on that. He could get the Basilius now, put some damage in. Right now, it is a lot of creeps going the way of Furion, so they want to put some tower damage behind it, because otherwise it's just going to be a freebie for him. But he's actually TP out. He's looking for the courier snipe. Is he going to get it? It's still on the ground. 2 right clicks required, 2 right clicks delivered, and that's going to be some nice gold going the way of Power Rangers.
Pause. BM pause right there. Cheshire Cat, yeah, with that nice courier snipe. He's gonna miss out on some XP for this, because now that wave you were talking about is at his tower, and Mantis sitting over at the side shop. Looks to be... I don't know if he quite has enough gold.
Yeah, they could actually lose the tower. If they like put all their push into it right now, like they could actually... The only thing is Reeves just pulled, so I don't think that's happening. It's essentially a second double wave, but it doesn't come at the same time as your first. So he'll try it. He knows obviously the Nature Prophet is gone now, but it's just going to be maybe a third HP or half HP.
Yeah, maybe they can try for even another double wave here at the 3-minute mark so that they will have that siege with it. But at that point, Nature's Prophet should be back. Yeah, Cheshire Cat just running down there with his boots first and tangos, as you normally do these days. On most offlane heroes, especially the Nature's Prophet. Oh, I'm going to spawn those interesting looking treants up onto the high ground to contest this pool maybe a little bit. Block that respawning of the camp, so a nice play there. And I mean, that's what made Nature's Prophet such a good offlaner in metas past. You have these treants, you block the camps, because supports back then were so dependent on pulling through for the camps. Nowadays, though, they can get a lot more out of just, you know, grouping up, finding some ganks, and then transitioning into Death Ball and pushing the towers. But, I mean, for now, Shadow Shaman needs level 6. Those pulls are pretty important.
Yeah, in the meantime, one big deal is that Wadafaka does not currently have his bottle. Does he give it? Oh, the Wisp has it right now. Sorry, the Wisp picks up the bottle. Magnus doesn't need it because Kot's going for room control, and then he's going to sustain the Magnus's mana pool by just occasionally using his spirits there. So he's able to duel a lot more actively, but now out of regen, he really needs the Wisp's help. And without any points in overcharge, Io essentially needs to take some masochism lessons because he's just like, right now, unable to injure himself, and therefore Magnus cannot be sustained by the bottle unless he just gives him a sip directly, which is comparatively cost inefficient.
Yeah, I don't know, Kot. Well, actually, yeah, he just gave him. Yeah, I mean, that works. He handed him over the bottle charge, or... Yeah, I'm thinking maybe he could pop spirits and tank some ancients, and there he will find it. The double damage up in the top lane to refill. Could use level 3 for the overcharge, as mentioned. Mirana Bane up in the top lane now with a big creep wave pushing in with that siege. The first siege of the game coming in at 4 minutes, 15 seconds to this tier 1 tower on the top lane. Same thing going for the bottom, but they just have one creep wave. A lot more than one. They've got 3 range creeps up here on the side of PR as they try to push in. Wisp will rotate over, trying to keep this Doom alive. Doom up to level 4, 2 points in Devour, 2 points in Scorched Earth, so pretty standard. He's got that Centaur aura. And this bottom tower now at about half HP. Cheshire Cat also level 4, so leveled with the Doom. The offlaner's going pretty even right now.
Yeah, Kot does pop the double damage rune, doesn't really use anything of the bottle, so he's just here to do a little bit of denying. And they do know that Magnus is kind of by himself at the moment. Right now, Wadafaka is sitting pretty low on HP, so he's going to be making his way to join up with the Wisp once again. And he did not put a point in overcharge. He wanted to max out the spirits, as it is a very, very powerful skill when it comes down to magic damage output. But yeah, it's just going to be an Arcane Boots refill, and Wadafaka is going to stay at low HP except for the bottle that's used directly.
Yeah, they can definitely sustain this lane now. However, Shocklow, I mean, you put 2 heroes into the mid lane, and not a lot of heroes other than the Brewmaster can, you know, win out this heavily in farm. He's the most farmed in the game right now. 30 last hits, 2 denies to the 18 and 2 of the Magnus, and, well, there's... Okay, experience is actually pretty even. Wisp hasn't taken too much away from that. Wisp caught only at level 3 here.
Yeah, but, I mean, the fact that the experience graph was so even up until the 4.5 minute mark or so, it just shows how well the Sentry Wards in Enigma's jungle set him back. He's now up to level 5, but what is usually the fastest jungler in the game is now at a point where he's just on par with many other heroes on the map. They're going to be pushing down bottom, trying to finish this tower. It's already down to 260 HP, and there's not really much Cheshire can do all by himself.
Yeah, Enigma rotating out of the jungle. It again slows down his jungling a little bit. Oh, bottom lane, though. Cheshire Cat, everything going to be dropped on that. Shackle call down, and that will also secure the tower. But it was J Ford looking for the runes, didn't find it. It's regen bottom now. Shocklow and Stallcat in a battle for it. It will be picked up and bottled here, so the Brewmaster gets away with that. But it is xGame who draw first blood in terms of towers.
Yep, and right now, Mirana doesn't want to be in a position where she's farming from behind. Like, she's not a carry that can just go kind of even with a gyrocopter and be perfectly fine with that. She's going to be relying on the Brew to help her out and engaging with him pretty soon. Chochula is just rushing at that Blink post-bottle and boots, but yeah, the Mirana herself not doing that great. 29 and 13 is fine, but it's not going to be really packing a punch beyond just casting some really good spells out here. So Moon really needs to make the plays happen with the arrows and maybe consider rotating to actually respond to the pressure coming in from the gyro.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Murano's having that much trouble. I mean, they had an early kill there. Second blood coming out on Stallcat. They killed the Doom, and I would assume he's been mostly zoned out. It is just 1v2 because, of course, Enigma is in the jungle. So, Doom, I mean, like we said, he's got the Devour up. He doesn't need to get too many last hits, just Devour, and then when he has Scorched Earth, sort of run into the lane and contest it. But we've got a TP for Nature's Prophet coming in behind that lone tree by the Roche Pick, and I throw out the Treants here into the Ancient area for Power Rangers. We'll find Reeves and Cot and chase them away. They're in enemy territory. They're going to have to fall back as Cheshire Cat kind of chews them off.
They're doing a little bit of baiting with Mantis there. They had the one support hiding behind the trees, and Shadow Shaman was cleaning up the treants that were trying to scout things out. So they wanted to use Mantis as bait, go in for the call down, and obviously the Wisp, delivering a lot of damage and keeping them alive. But now it might turn around the other way. Fortunately, there's an Observer Ward in place to see the Brewmaster lurking, but he does have that Blink Dagger, and he certainly wants to use it.
Yeah. Pretty early Blink Dagger. He does go just the Boots of Speed. Finds a Haste Rune as well. All pretty standard right now. We'll see if he wants to either go Mana Boots or Phase. I know the last time I really read up, I don't even know if it was in this current patch, but when Brewmaster started getting picked up, the Phase had a much higher win rate just to get that crit a little higher from Drunken Brawler, get a ton of damage out of it, but of course Mana is going to be great as well. Always ensuring you can get the Stomp and your ultimate off, and he will find Mantis right now with this haste. Actually might go for Reeves. That's a very, very fast chicken. They have the Shackle now, just 1 point in that, but here come the Spirits in from Cot. Lots of damage. We'll get the Primal Split off. There's no silence here. And who's going to go for it? Has the Boulder been thrown? Boulder has not been thrown yet. He will Cyclone up the Gyro and be forced to run away, so not a very good first Primal Split. He might actually die, trying to get that Earth Panda away. The Moonlight Shadow coming out right now, and generally they can blink. He wants to think about RPing, but doesn't look like any detection right now on either the Wisp or, yeah, lots of Iron Branches, but those aren't going to reveal Invis heroes.
Yeah, but while he kind of forces Wadafaka to try and rotate down bottom, there is pressure coming in the mid lane here. Buckler popped, and Eidolon's at work, chipping away at this tier 2 in the mid, but we'll see if that's an opening created for Wadafaka. The skewer up in just 5 seconds, and certainly a movement speed advantage when you got this tether.
Fiend's Grip into an arrow and taking an entire creep wave there. Stallcat will fall down. A TP was going to come up to help, but is canceled out now. J4 is going to be caught out here by the Wisp, by the Magnus. Shockwave into the strong right click from Wadafaka, picking a back kill now. 1200 gold, Bottle Magic Wand, a Mana Boots. TP's coming in though. Cheshire Cat with the Sprout right now. Arrow to set that one up beautifully. Cot will go down, and Moon, who needs to farm creeps when you just move on to the map and start farming up those heroes. It's 3-3 at about 10 minutes in. Now they maybe even look for Shockglow. Or,
yeah.
Well, I guess Wadafaka.
Yeah, without the Primal Split, they certainly had more 5v5 potential, as the Enigma's Black Hole isn't going to really be impactful with just boots only to get in position. So maybe they could have collaborated a little bit better with the Gyrocopter and the Magnus instead of just going for a 2v1 solo kill. In the end, that's not the tempo they were looking for. They wanted to go for farm on Gyro and win fights 4v4 or 4v5. In the end, they get engaged on, and the kill count is evened out. 3 for 3, the equalizer's found, and yeah, it just kind of comes down to a stalemate, at least for the moment. We'll see the Primal Split back up in 35 seconds, and Brewmaster's going to be full for it.
Man, speaking of that Gyro, I gotta say, these ability icons are sick. Especially the alt call down, like, that's so awesome. The reflection. I thought cool guys didn't look at explosions. What's up with that Gyro? Guess he's not cool.
He's hip. He's not cool, he's hip.
Maybe his eyes are closed and it's just a reflection, I don't know.
Yeah, but no, he's got the age gap in there, so it's not. It wasn't cool back in his day.
That's true, that's true. But yeah, his goggles don't look anything like that. Anyway, enough cosmetic talk. He is leading the farm, like you said. They just want the Gyro to farm, and they'll make space with the other heroes. And so far, it's working out in terms of just, you know, the raw farm numbers. 69 and 12 there on the Gyro. He is leading the net worth, 4.7k. Murano at 4.3. The Brewmaster, who did quite well in the middle lane, sitting at 61 and 3. His net worth, though, he's down there in 4th, but it's tightly contested as a tier 1 tower will fall. It's going to be a deny for the Magnus, but meanwhile, J4 and Cheshire Cat, Treants, and Eidolons combined, looking to go ahead and take down the Roshan. Pretty early here, just 11.5 minutes.
It's interesting, because there was this Observer Ward in place from the Radiant side, but because it came in from the east, as far as I know, they still don't know about this, and although it has taken quite some time, it is going to fall in their favor. We'll see here, and obviously they're both going to split the experience 50-50, so plus 259 for Enigma, so J4 gets a little bit of bonus, and that will complete his mechanism.
Pretty good timing there. I mean, we knew he was slowed down early on from his jungle being blocked out by 1 Observer and 2 sentries, so 3 camps were blocked out.
Oh, relocate, nice.
Oh, the relocate coming in, though. They look for the Eidolons. They do look a bit like Enigma, but they are not Enigma. That Shockwave is going to miss.
He's not buying his mechanism. He's still gonna die without it. The last right click,
he
the
buys
last
it, he buys
shockwave.
it.
He did
Shockwave
buy it,
will
but
miss.
it's only because Wadafaka is just missing these spells. And now Brewmaster is gonna just be able to blink right on top of him. Nowhere to go. RP canceled for no, I don't know. This was awkward. This was awkward indeed. That should have been an easy kill, and Enigma would have lost a nice sum of gold, 240 gold away from the mech, essentially, if he had died before he purchased. But instead he gets it. They miss out the kill on the Enigma, and an easy arrow. X-Game, just floundering.
Yeah, there was a Shadow Shaman there, and he just disappeared, and that's what happens when you put 3 points in arrow already. This Mirana now hitting level 10, looking to probably
and
put a
finding
4th point
Stallcat.
into it. And the Fiend's Grip forward, we just sick. He's got mana boots already. He's doing pretty well for his support. Stallcat, though, will live. Manages to throw out the Doom, but that Doom will be wasted. The mechanism going to come in that J4 just purchased up because he didn't even die. Arrow now in through some traffic. Will connect onto a creep. I believe that TP was canceled, but... well, here we are in middle lane. Treants, Eidolons again combining. They took out Roshan earlier. Of course, the tier 1 tower is not going to be much of a problem either. Fortify goes out, but it will fall, delaying the inevitable. Bottom lane, however, Mantis in a bit of trouble. Gonna TP. I mean, Shocklow could have canceled that. He could have Primal Split, but sometimes it's a pretty close call, and he doesn't want to waste his second Primal Split after the first one went pretty much unnoticed.
Yeah, the cast animation is rough, and also he didn't get any crits after the first one. That's a 25% chance, and I think he got 3 or 4 autos in there, so maybe just hoping that the RNG would be in his favor, and in that case, not so fortunate. So they get the Gyro to TP back home, but he's already farmed up that Yasha towards the much-needed Manta style of this game, and from there, it is going to be the pressure down on bottom tower, double damage, chipping away, the Eidolons in play, and yeah, they're going to be looking to take this one down without any contest at all.
Yeah, it's a good point you bring up there. I mean, he got the Helm of Iron Will, so it looks like he wants to get the lifesteal up for the Helm of Dominator first, but the Manta, it's not the best gyro item, but it's definitely going to be good this game once points go into Drunken Haze.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
As they look to push top, Shadow Shaman is here. Serpent Ward's coming off a cooldown. They did just take... oh, they actually didn't. Mirana cleaned up those wards in the middle lane. They weren't able to push down the middle tier 1. They'll hopefully try to get top, but guess who's there? It's Mirana Moon. Already there. Has the Yasha finished up in the... oh no, actually still needs the Band of Elven Skin, but very close to his Yasha, so Moon on top of the net worth. Doing pretty nicely for themselves. Phase Drum Yasha coming out about 14.5 minutes. What do you want to see the next item be? I mean, pretty much 100% it's going to be a Maelstrom, but anything else besides that for Moon?
It's a tough call. I mean, there are plenty of different ways you can run it, but first we're going to see some action down bottom. Maybe they want the Doom. He is going to connect with it, but do they even have detection? They're not going to be able to kill him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Fiend's Grip. Alright. And still, yeah, still in Viz. No detection right now. Bane's got detection. He knows what's up. And won't even have to deny J4 as Nature's Prophet. Sprout will actually just miss, spawn up some Treants, but now he could be some... Wadafaka cannot land these Shockwaves. He's having difficulties with that. He does have an RP. I don't think we've even seen an RP yet. And meanwhile, the Brewmaster up in the top will pick up a double kill, killing the Shadow Shaman and the Gyrocopter. I'm assuming Moon was helping.
Yeah, they were
I was
2v2ing
in the bottom lane there as
the
push
arrows
gets
were very on
mounted.
point. They used the Primal Split, the arrows ×2 were very on point, and they're able to bring down that core gyro easily. So we have seen one solo reverse polarity on the Enigma, but since then, you're right, absolutely nothing, and they need to really make some plays happen, and not just Wadafaka finding a good RP, but with the Gyrocopter nearby. Because, like, picking up these heroes to synergize together, you got the rank 2 call down, the max flak, like, that's the whole point, is to get the AoE wombo, and he definitely has the initiation now with the reverse polarity at level 2, but they need the Gyrocopter to kind of piggyback on him so they can find these openings rather than just getting picked off by themselves.
Yeah, they're maybe struggling a bit being outmaneuvered, I guess, because if they want to group up as all 5, well then, well I guess they only have to group as 3 because Wisp and Gyro can always just sort of show up, but they're having problems because Nature's Prophet alone, just his Rat Dota is pretty strong, and he's basically always been showing up along with the Enigma, so the Treants, the Eidolons, they've been pushing down towers relentlessly. All tier 1s have fallen, meanwhile xGame have only claimed that bottom tower for themselves, so a bit of a conflict up in the top lane. Doom goes off on the bottom lane onto Enigma, but the Doom will fall. And, well, I mean, another Doom goes out. I think Enigma's been doomed like 5 times this game and hasn't died to a single one of them. Maybe just one of them, as he does have 1 death.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's been doomed a lot. I don't know if it's that high, but even still, like, they're taking advantage of
A
opportunities.
million times.
Yeah. 8,972
Oh, now
times.
caught. Gonna pay the price. Doesn't have a tether target and the gyro, but the sprout is
Oh,
there.
wow, whoa. Ah, there it is.
Oh, there it is. The big call down RP gonna bring out 2. One of those does have an Aegis. We just 6 still alive. Skewered very far away. Does get off a Fiend's Grip. So PR lose 2 there. I mean, just their 2 supports. Obviously, Enigma's getting quite a bit out of this game in terms of farming the jungle, even though he was slowed up a bit, but it's just 2 supports for 1, and that's the power of the combo. It does deny the Aegis, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, the positioning there, the Sprout definitely locked in a certain target. Caught does indeed get caught, but the turnaround damage is there with the Spirits, with the Call Down, and then later with the Magnus. So they're able to pop the Aegis, they're able to get some kills in their favor. They certainly needed them. Now they're up to 5, a whopping 5. But yeah, they really want to get some kill momentum in this game. Maybe with their ultis coming back up shortly, they'll be able to manage. RP, it's a little long, but not as long as many of the CDs that we talk about very frequently in these types of games. And I still think that they need to put the utmost emphasis on that, because the relocates certainly aren't working out.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, I mean, they can definitely win the team fight if they get it. I mean, not even on their terms. If they just, find a 5v5, which they really shouldn't. And here they go in the top lane, pushing down some towers. Middle, though, however, the Primal Split goes out as Mantis looks to get a little aggressive. Or maybe a Choclo who's getting aggressive. But the defensive relocate will bring him out. Wisp, though, well, he's actually pretty far back.
Doom on bottom.
Have to sacrifice his life here. And then, meanwhile, bottom, another Doom goes out. Will it actually get a kill this time? Looks like we just could go for the deny, but wants to go for the kill. Has Mana Boots right now. Could Mana Boots put everything on cooldown? Will get the deny, and, well, we stopped watching middle lane here. The Nature's Prophet will fall after the nice save there from the Wisp onto the gyro, and there we go. Coming off the cooldown, the pure damage of that Brain Sap will bring down the Doom. So 1 for 1 all across the map. It's 12-6. Power Rangers leading by 6 kills. They've got the 2 top net worth heroes. Mirana, 8.5. Brewmaster at 7.8. Gyro, not too far behind, doing a bit of catch-up work.
Yeah, Reeves is going to be making his way towards a Blink Dagger. He really wants to be on point with when Magnus jumps in, that he's able to do so the same. We see Mantis also pushing out the mid lane, but that is going to be forced back by shots flow. The tower is just outside deny range, though, so it is just going to be standing, kind of teetering. It's the leaning tower here, and it will just
that'd be
barely
so
maintain.
awesome if they added that.
Yeah. Just random effects.
Leading towers of Pisa all day. Maybe soon, maybe soon. We still have that Buildings update to go. It could be more than just some cosmetic.
That's true. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Maybe Valve should hire me, I don't know. We'll leave that discussion to another day, though. We've got cross-map farming. We've got Enigma mounting the push in the bottom lane. Let's find where our Nature's Prophet is up to. Just farming the jungle for now. Looking to keep this top lane busy. Stallcat goes there to defend his tier 2 off-lane tower. Doom has Phase Boots at 20 minutes. Your Doom is behind if he has Phase Boots at 20 minutes.
He's cast his ultimate
a million times.
Yeah, countless numbers of times, and he has only gotten 1 assist in total. 1 assist, no kills, just not had any forward momentum at all. Generally speaking, you're supposed to run this lineup where you relocate whenever the Doom comes out, so you can pursue globally, and you can always run down the target to make sure they fall. But instead, he gets denied, he doesn't get the kill at all, they get healed back up, all these things because they're just not poorly thought out. Usually it's a panic Doom when he's about to get picked off. And now we see the Serpent Wards drop down behind the tower. It almost does nothing. Like, at this position, they're still pinpricking down the tower, and it doesn't even force them to go in full retreat. Now they get some pursuit potential, relocate back after they actually take down the tower. Gyrocopter did get it, no deny, but Brewmaster is waiting possibly with a split. He has enough mana, could go for the combo, but we'll see.
No way, both are coming back. Yeah, it's just going to be the Wisp. And he moves over to the creep, expecting to tether out from Cot. Will land the Thunderclap, and now the right clicks from Moon, as well as Shocklow coming in. Nicely done, and just in case there was some insurance in Cheshire Cat, J4, and a Moonlight Shadow from the Moon himself, as now they try to transition this into pushing on the middle tier 2, and it shouldn't be too hard with the heroes that they have. They've got the mech up for the extra armor, then the extra 2 armor when activated. They have drums online as well, and Ags up here on Shacklow, and the Maelstrom here to get the creeps down even faster on Cheshire Cat's Nature's Prophet. So the tier 2 tower here. Fortification is available from xGame. Do they look to defend? Do they look to finally get that Wombo off? The Doom, the Call Down, and the RP? We'll have to wait and see. Wadafaka sort of in position. He's got Blink Force. He will only get 1. Pulling Moon back. Oh, not even, because he's going to get stunned up by the Enigma. Now the Fiend's Grip will go out. BKB onto Mantis. Fiend's Grip, though, canceled. Call down onto nothing. Okay, maybe just the Storm Panda, but does it really matter? They've got one more boulder in another second. Can he bring down the Magnus? It's still not quite enough damage, and now the Earth Panda will be forced to retreat. So all in all, it's, well, for right now, a defense. They lose the tower, but at least no one on either side dies, and I think that's good for xGame here. Caught, though, in the trees. Will be able to retreat back with that tether out, and really hard to fight down this hill now, especially going into the Midnight Pulse.
Yeah, so they're not going to be able to really take anything on the back of that, but if they want to, just go ahead and pick up the Roshan. That's perfectly an option for them. Nature Prophet for now will teleport to the top lane to do a little bit of split push there, and yeah, they're even going to just try to slip out. Actually, it's going to be a full pursuit with the homing missile, but they're not going to catch Shoshlo, and yeah, they just have to go back to farming.
Yeah, I think Magnus could have got that. I don't know if it would have mattered too much. Bane was there ready to nightmare somebody.
They need a TP bottom or something. They don't even stop the tower from falling. Of course, they didn't have Fortify, but they had Relocate. I feel they could have gotten there, but I guess they didn't want to deny as much as they were worried Moon would just leap away. So in the end, another tower falls. Blink Dagger up for Furion, and PR just have huge momentum behind them. Blink finally comes out for Reeves, but that's pretty much all he has to say for himself. And Marana's going to go for actually a very defensive item here, the Black King Bar.
Wow, yeah. I guess the Maelstrom. There was at least a Maelstrom in the game. Nature's Prophet, Cheshire Cat will pick up that. Well, wait, what? He's all the way in their base. I thought I was like, wait a minute. Is Nature's Prophet on the other team all of a sudden? Swap on in this game, apparently. They know he's there, and he's not getting out of this one, so they will kill him. Cheshire Cat with the Blink Maelstrom Tread, sort of that new school build, which I suppose we credit over to Admiral Bulldog, kind of his signature hero. But he falls down. Marana, like you said, with the BKB, which surprises me, because I was just about to say, it's not really shocking that Moon is out in front of the net worth, or now just getting surpassed by the Gyro, but what stuns are there? There's an ultimate, a homing missile, which takes forever. Tether doesn't do anything. And then there's Doom, and then whatever Shadow Shaman can do. And Shadow Shaman is usually getting blown up, or Fiend's Grip, or something like that. So there's not a lot of lockdown besides the Doom. Or an RP. Just the big ultimates, really.
Yeah, I mean, the magic damage is still flying about here and there, but it is, I completely agree, a very awkward pickup that he could have at least delayed. He doesn't, if he wants it in general in the game, that's fine, but doesn't really need it right now. Wants to get some maybe farm momentum and wants to just increase his potential across the map offensively, in my opinion. But as it is, he'll pick up the BKB Yasha. It's still a strong build for pretty much any Agi hero in the game, just maybe not as fitting in this particular one. We'll see. Right now, the big deal for Mantis is whether or not he's going to be able to avoid Fiend's Grip. Up top, we're actually going to see.
The Primal Split comes out, though. Moon's still alive. Could BKB if he wants to, but I don't think he'll really have to. Arrow goes out, going to be off the mark, but Earth Panda, or rather Storm Panda, is there. Sends him up, purges him back down, and it's a double kill off of that Primal Split here. So getting a little more, getting some better Primal Splits later on in the game. Another Doom onto J4. It's just Doom and J4. I think he can finally get this one, chasing it down. No, he won't be able to. There's no damage. He's got an Ogre Club and a Blink Dagger. J4 still alive. Gonna be able to mech in just a second. Cheshire Cat now TPing down. No
time, dude. It's not gonna happen.
Quelling Blade. Oh, Stallcat will fall. So 1,000,001 Dooms. 0
Black hole time.
1
First
assist.
black hole of the game.
He's looking for it right now, but I don't think he's gonna. Oh, he will get it off. Caught, though, still alive, can just lend a right click, and yeah, that's all they're going to need. Cheshire Cat, though, buyback. He's coming back in the TP out, and he will get caught for his troubles at least. So it's a 3-for-3 buyback on the Prophet. I mean, all in all, it works out pretty well for xGame. However, their tier 3 tower now sustaining some damage. There's a ward going out. It was a ward trap. There are phase boots on Marana, though, so not really trappable as long as those phase boots are off of cooldown.
That Doom versus Enigma is a battle for the ages. Like, this is something that'll happen time and time again for centuries. It'll just be reincarnated over. Their struggle will never end, but in the end, Doom will never win. It seems like it's just fated at this point. Every single time he dooms that Enigma, he dies, and the Enigma doesn't until significantly later. So, yeah, that's it's been an interesting game. A lot of back and forth all across the map. That's what you can get out of heroes like Nature's Prophet and Wisp. Is a lot of global play. We saw a call down on some creeps just a little bit ago. A good wave farm for Gyrocopter, and that'll bring him to level 16. 3,800 gold banked up, and we'll have to see what he wants to go with. MKB would be my pickup, but Mantis Style is nice to finish too. We'll see.
Indeed we will, and what we're seeing now, Roshan number 2 for Power Rangers. Obviously just the Enigma and the Nature's Prophet took it out earlier. This time they send in the whole team. Cheshire Cat now going to rejoin them, and yeah, he bought back, so if he dies, he's still going to have that long death timer. I was thinking maybe he had died post-buyback and he'd already got rid of it, but I think Cheshire Cat's still bringing that along, so they will hand him the Aegis right now. And, well, it's, you know, it's high ground business for PR. They've got to break into that high ground. Although, I mean, yeah, the late game gyro, I guess, is always a threat. And he picks up an Eagle Song, so he's casual Helm of Iron Will. He looks to be going for the Butterfly right now, which is good for the stats. It's good so you can actually hit... No, just kidding, that's MKB to hit through the Brewmaster. I don't know, I think I disagree with the Butterfly pickup.
One thing is it does scale, Empower scales based on base damage, so agility is going to be enhanced
The stats
there,
are good.
and the attack speed's pretty important. The overcharge is maxed out, but sometimes you can't get the tether off on a target who's BKBing. Oh, they're going to go in. No.
Moonlight Shadow, though, and no detection. I don't know what they're expecting to do.
They're not a fan of the seeing people thing. Oh, shot's low. Trying to turn around, but he can't kill anybody in 4 seconds time. Oh, the blink! Why'd he blink? You were home free. He gets taken away with the relocate. You can't stop the rubber band. There is no disable in the game. I guess you can like X mark and stuff like that, but glimpse. Okay, I'm contradicting myself a lot, but the point is,
I mean, whatever.
You can't stop the Wisp from escaping in that situation. All you have to do is just hold hands, keep the tether going. But he blinks away in panic and he suicides.
Wisp doesn't have any hands to hold. What is this?
Use the power of imagination. I don't freaking know. They're
Right,
certainly doing that for the situation with the Moonlight Shadow. They're having to imagine their enemies being in a certain area because they're not actually seeing them. Where is the detection, boys? They do.
That has been a problem. Doom's fallen
anything
to that too. He just goes in, throws it at Doom, and then a Moonlight Shadow comes, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I couldn't have killed him anyway. I really can't kill him now, and I am 0, 6, and 3." So he's picked up a couple more assists, but Starladder having a really, really rough game. I mean, they're still only down 8 kills, so the game, you know, it's still alive for them. 11,000 gold in favor of PR, 11,000 XP in favor of PR. The fact that they're not buying detection, I mean, a little bit. We can see that they did have sentries. It looks like they had used them up, but it doesn't look like they used them up in battle. It was mainly just to de-ward some key areas, so I don't know. I'd like to see some dust come out, but even with that dust, I don't know if they can win the team fights, given what they've shown so far. Except for that one time where they synced up the call down and the RP and got a 2-for-1 trade.
Like, that was like the enemy walking into it. So that was essentially 3 people clustering up, really wanting some kills, because why not? They're bloodthirsty. They've got 18 behind them. But Gem True Sight comes out on the Doom. Let's see how long it lasts.
There we go.
He's just painted a target on his back, and they got Fiend.
Finally got that blink.
They got Black Hole. This guy, I'm gonna just make a call that he's gonna die within 3 minutes. We're at about 30.
Thunderclap?
At 33, I bet the gem's in the enemy's hands.
Bold, bold. Wisp coming out with the mech, though. All the blink forward. I would really like to see him get rid of Thunderclap. I personally think it is the worst aura to have as Doom in the game. I mean, the speed aura would be okay right now, but most definitely the Centaur Stomp is going to be good with your Blink Dagger. A little bit more so than the Thunderclap, because it will also cancel TPs. Or even the Alpha Wolf, Critical Strike, helping out your Gyro, and then he's got that Empower on top of his stats, because he has finished up the Butterfly right now, hitting for a little over 200 damage, about 230, maybe 240 there, if we properly add those numbers together, but doing math is too hard on a live broadcast.
Alright, so right now it's all on Mantis and Magnus, trying to get the combo, trying to get this play, but PR know it. They're going to try to avoid it as much as possible, play for the pickoffs, and see what they can do from there. Marana is in a decent position, but as far as observer vision, they might not actually find the opening they're looking for. They keep on rotating lanes, getting the push to continue on all sides, but other than maybe 50 to 100 damage off a tower, it doesn't change much. Now we see the opening, we just say get singled out, and they do have the gem close enough to BKB. Oh, he gets BKB.
RP was canceled there. It wasn't actually used, but it doesn't really matter. Brewmaster on the backside of things just ripping apart the back lines. Now the Fiend's Grip goes out to the BKB Mantis, and now the Black Hole into everything, but Level Death going to cancel it immediately. Doom making the plays when it counts. Big Sprout on everybody. Waterfuck are going to pull them all out. A lot of glowing yellow heroes with that BKB, but a lot of ultimates that still affect them. 1-for-1 right now. Aegis about to come back up on the Nature's Prophet here. Buyback for the Magnus, so 2-for-1 PR. Looks like they will still be winning this team fight in the end, and we'll look to back off. Oh, they're going to skewer back Moon, but Moon with the leap out does now have that Maelstrom. They will bring down. Oh, they will not bring down the Shockwave to connect on Cheshire Cat, but Well, it's a 2-for-1 for PR. Now the score 20-11. Aegis was burned, however. So now Cheshire Cat, if he dies, he's going to have that long timer.
So they're playing together as a team. This is what X Game need to do to get back into it. They have some great AoE team fight. They have some real potential. There were some silly plays, like the fact that Cott relocated himself back to Fountain without tethering anybody, and then TP'd back to the front line immediately. That was interesting, but in general, they're getting what they need to done. Some raw right-click on the gyrocopter, flat cannon across most of their enemies. They got the cancel on the Enigma. Very close, by the way. Like, that level death, he was just tiptoe in that line of death, and if he had walked right in, it would just been Flame City from myself as well as the Twitch chat. But in this position, you know, they're pulling it back. They get some kills, and the gyrocopter is the big man on the board. So we'll see if this BKB Fiend's Grip is enough to keep him locked down, or if we're going to see some more great dooms coming out of Stallcat.
Yeah, and just checking the items overall. The BKB coming up on We Just Sick, and of course the one we question maybe a little bit on the Mirana. I mean, it doesn't do too much. There are a lot of BKB heroes on both sides, and basically all the big ultimates for the crowd control go through magic immunity in this game, so they weren't taking the extra damage from it, which I guess is the benefit you're getting from the BKB here. I mean, of course is the benefit. I don't know if it's the most cost-effective benefit, but Stallcat is getting another kill. This dude's online. He's willing to bring the game back right now for X-Game. Even the relocate coming in now, Shocklow in some trouble. Do they have any detection? This could be... Oh, man, the winds of change coming through.
Definitely. 13 HP Brewmaster, by the way, getting that split.
Yeah, got off the split just barely. They will relocate out now, but there's still quite a few heroes here trying to deal with him. The Gyro and the Magnus for now, and I think they will be able to bring down this Panda. But Panda's making space. Look at the middle lane. Fortification will go off, and Panda still in the Earth Panda. I feel like that has lasted forever. Is not able to get the blink off and will go down. But middle tower, the tier 3 fallen 21-14, 7-kill advantage for PR. Brewmaster buying all the time in the world for this, and that's the middle racks. Potentially all they will connect, or was that a blink backward by Cheshire Cat? Still trying to bring this down now. Gyrocopter, the great wave clearer coming through. We Just Sick. Something's wrong with BKB. I don't know what it is. That wasn't.
Well.
Yep. All right. So we'll move on.
So the courier actually did pick up the gem. It was on the ground for a little bit there, but it was transferred to Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman died, and it was just sitting on the ground. But Reeves will reclaim it upon his respawn because the Brewmaster wasn't alive to pick it up himself. So courier got it, and I guess that falsifies my claim. But you have to admit that Stallcat just pretty much pulled a 180 in his playstyle in this game. Like, he went from wasting his Doom every time, 001, a Doom that was 5,400 net worth at like the 20-plus minute mark, and now he's really making things happen. The Dooms are on point, he's fighting with his team, and he just really is showing why he's actually, not a scrub. He's a professional player. He goes in and he makes the plays happen when they count. So this is pulling them back into it. If we look at the experience graph in particular, it's heading back their direction, and although the gold graph still looks pretty dire, we do know that they have lost quite a bit. Like, they've lost the buyback on Nature's Prophet previously, so that costs quite a penny, and the Mirana does fall off long term compared to Gyro Doom. So we'll see it. Kind of some more death push coming in. The mid racks are regenerating, but maybe they will find another opening on it.
Yeah, it looked like they felt pretty confident that they could get the melee, because generally, if you think you can only get one, you just go for that range real quick. At least it doesn't have the regen. It takes a little bit of damage, probably a few stray last hits or a few stray attacks, and of course the creep that just went over to it. But they definitely could have got the range. They got the melee very, very low, and already it's back to half HP. But that does show, I mean, just with a little bit of space, they can quickly immobilize and get in there and just bring down a Rax. And they only have high ground left to go. Tier 3 tower in the bottom lane and the top lane. Top lane pretty damaged, bottom lane not so much. Has taken a bit. Roche is up though. Nature's Prophet scouts it out with his little tree ant there. And maybe they're going to look for it, but not before another team fight. Relocate coming in, trying to get the Bane. Moonlight Shadow though has gone out, caught with no detection. Again, bit of a problem. Call down going to be dropped just onto the spirits here, but it's not enough. They're trying to bring down this Wisp, but Wisp will go ahead and take everyone out back to safety. Now Stallcat will get jumped on. Nature's Prophet brings him down, so Cheshire Cat with another kill. He's 2-5-9. 2-7-4 there on the Doom. Buyback is available for the Doom here. Primal Split was used, We saw the Brew looking for maybe to throw someone up into a tornado, but they're not too worried about pushing high ground. They're going to go back for that third Roche, get the Aegis, get the cheese. Cheshire Cat after this should be rolling in with an Aegis or a cheese and a sheepstick. He's very close to that.
Yeah, that'll claim it for him. And
yeah, Roche will get it to him.
A couple of weird nightmares. I don't know if We6 is goofing around, but like he nightmared an arrow that was at least 4 seconds already, and then he has nightmaring Roche, but maybe just trying to pop the Linked Sphere and get some extra damage on it. No matter the case, we see them taking down the Roche pretty easy, and the cheese is going to go the way of the Brewmaster, actually. That's interesting. And then the Aegis will go to the Mirana.
With Cheshire Cat buying out like that, and then obviously having no buyback available as a result of finishing the Scythe of Vice, I thought they were definitely going to give him one of them, but no, it's cheese over to the Brewmaster, who I feel like can kind of go in Primal Split and still just get out and be okay. Maybe not the best cheese carrier. Maybe he's just holding it after Mirana's Aegis is burned, or if it's even burned here for Moon. We'll have to see. It's still PR with a clear advantage. I mean, 15k XP. We saw the XP get brought back from 15 to 10, so 5,000 shift. In favor of XGame, but as soon as the game sort of slows down, they take the Roche, it's going right back in the favor of PR. BKB now on Enigma. BKB is a plenty. This is a weird game for me. There's so many BKBs on both sides, but so many alts on both sides that go through BKB in massive AoEs. I mean, you got Black Hole and RP, and even the call down slow will also go through BKB.
Yep, it's just one of those games where they want to stay alive as long as possible. They kind of use it as a pseudo pipe. They still have the pipe on the Enigma, but they want to make sure that they're not taking too much damage and that the Hex and Shackles from the Shadow Shaman won't be screwing them over. Another thing is that Doom can only doom one target, and his only stun otherwise is the level Death, which is obviously doesn't pierce through magic immunity. So essentially they have 2 big channeled ultimates. If they both BKB, Doom can only stop one, and then it's on the Magnus from there. So that's something behind it. Otherwise, it's just kind of going with the core item build and the ones that seem to fit the most, even though the Gyrocopter can tear right through that, in my opinion, at least. But yeah,
he's got a lot.
He's getting big. He's got a lot behind him, and he does now have buyback once again, but probably will be buying up the Helmet Dominator into Satanic pretty soon.
Oh, Stallcat. He's getting surrounded here in the middle lane. The little pincer attack. Oh, invisibility. What? You don't say so. XGame can't get enough of the invisibility here that PR is bringing out, and Stallcat will be brought down. Does have a buyback available, and will most likely have to buy back. So they're forcing one buyback at least, and PR, okay, there goes the buyback, and it doesn't look like it's going to dissuade them from pushing in. Hopefully they can kill Doom again and from their perspective and just go on towards the high ground, and then obviously XGame. Hoping Doom doesn't die, hoping he gets a quality Doom off on a big target here. Enigma or Brew? Who do you think he should go for?
I think the Enigma is the real issue. Obviously, Aghanim's Brewmaster is absolutely huge. The AC aura is immense, but I just don't think you can rely on killing the Brewmaster before he casts a single spell. He's got cheese, he's tanky, and I don't think that you're going to be able to just take him out of the fight entirely. So yeah, it's great to cast those abilities and try to negate his presence, but Enigma is the one you can actually, by chance, take off the table, take out Pipe, take out Mech, and take out that pesky Black Hole.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. I think J4 is going to be the target there. The Brewmaster doesn't seem like he's going to have too much trouble getting it off. Even if they doom him, he could probably just back out of the fight, let the doom run out, and then blink back in and initiate here. But here's a smoke up. XGame, they're looking, and they will find J4. He breaks the smoke and blinks away almost immediately. So a big full team smoke going to be sort of stopped in its tracks. They get nothing from it. They don't lose too much either. They haven't been smoking up a lot, so I assume most of them are in stock. Should have 2 available to them still. But yeah, I think PR just going to be content, looking for a pick-off.
Dude!
I mean, hopefully they can just pick off Doom again. Whoa, what happened?
Stallcat just changed his creep. He's been running with the Hellbear Clapper forever, and now
For like an hour.
Yeah, he finally goes Centaur. And once you go
time.
Centaur, you don't go back. This is it.
Maybe he
He's
just
committed.
realized.
15 attack speed for everyone. The Gyrocopter is now buffed beyond belief. They've got the Overcharge plus 70, the Centaur Aura plus 15. You just use the Helmet Dominator to get 7 Centaurs, and then
I gotta say, I'd rather see the Alpha Wolf this game. As much as
definitely.
I love the Blink Centaur, but I mean, you're all in Gyro right now. I think at this point of the game.
I'm just making fun of the little things here.
Poor
Doom
Stallcat, man.
He's had a rough game, one way or another. Some of it is his own decision making, but a lot of it is just circumstances. He's the one pushing out, trying to farm, and it's going to be PR to happen to be in the neighborhood at those points in time. So it's been a rough one for him, and yeah, just switching it up a little bit here.
I'm surprised that We Just Sick in the top lane. I mean, Gyro was farming here not too long ago, and We Just Sick was in position in the tree line. No blink yet, so he... How did he even get in there, actually? Did he just... Okay, walk this way, yeah. So he would have had to walk out for it. I think he could have managed. They're going to go with the anti-Tinker ward. There's no Tinker in the game, but it still provides a lot of vision.
Like, look at what vision it's getting.
Oh, is that a very awkward place? He's like, uh-oh.
They messed it up. It's like, it's not even vision. Like, they don't even see the wisp that's right next to it.
Yeah, not very good. I mean, after all, he did bury it into the hillside there. He's sitting there looking at it, contemplating. I think over here is definitely where you put it.
Trying to think of placing another
He's
one.
like, wait a minute, I've seen them do this.
Oh, that's the worst
Oh,
thing.
now he realizes how much danger he's in.
Like,
oh, the spirits, they're looking for him right now. He's going to
Yeah.
try to TP out, and he will get away. Reeves mid-animation there on the Hex. Not instant enough. But they have to realize what he was doing in there. They have a gem. They can't quite see up the high ground there. Wisp with the spirits obviously can throw the spirits up there and they can get them, but
they only vision when they hit heroes, so I think that unless they put
oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
I don't know if they can actually see it.
Well, just don't go over there anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's an interesting ward. I don't know how much that really provides at this point. They're looking for the pickoff, so if Gyro's farming here and they know he's alone, then, I mean, that's what the ward is for.
Alright, so Aegis is about to expire on Mirana. That means all they have really from the last Roche is this cheese. Do they want to keep it on Brewmaster? Obviously, he has cheese and the AC Aura. They want to keep him alive, but as it stands right now, I think he can manage unless he gets doomed. And so far, Stallcat's been focusing on just about everybody else.
Oh, this is going to be a mistake for xGame, I think. Oh, he gets the doom out on the J4, and now they will turn on We Just Sick. I guess I have to take it back completely. Call down used, but it's a small cooldown, only 45 seconds. They're still trying to chase away J4, but what do you know, he's invisible. Good thing there's a gem now on Reeves, as he did get that back early from the courier. And they will find two. I thought it was just the Shadow Shaman and the Doom, and Jocko hiding in the trees here. He's going to blink away back to safety, and oh, there's a creep wave at the base. It takes out the tier 3 tower, but relatively unscathed for xGame.
They were not ready for a fight there. They were just looking to kind of keep their control, get some D-wards out, rotate around through, and yep, that bit them pretty hard because now they expend another BKB charge on We Just Sick's Black King Bar, which had issues before, obviously. And from there, oh man, that would have been a huge Quarry Snipe.
Oh, RP in the middle lane, just on the Moon. Relocate coming in. Moon, can he leap out in time? No! Manta splits and 700 gold going over to Kot on the IO. Big pick off there. Buyback available on the Mirana and the Enigma. So xGame going to have to put in a lot more work before they can, bring this game back from the brink. But, they're making the right steps. They get a couple pickoffs there, force a couple deaths, and even going to push out on the map, maybe try to get a tier 2 for their troubles.
Yeah, we'll see. The Mantis is pretty confident right now with the Satanic available. There's really nothing that's going to prevent him from...
He's in trouble. He will back up, and he will go down soon afterwards.
Yeah, not a good spot to be in. But, them's the breaks. We do see Mantis kind of going for some solo push here, enfeebled up. There isn't really much that'll prevent him from getting the most out of lifesteal. I mean, as it stands, the Brewmaster Drunken hazes him. He can BKB that, and yeah, it's really the only enfeeble that persists, and even then the Empower pretty much counteracts that. Now Shotzo in a bad spot, gets hexed up. Can they get the shackles to follow it through? Cheshire Cat with the sheepstick, but it's on cooldown. Shotzo going down, he gets doomed.
Script goes out with a BKB Nightmare being a creep, and Bane will fall. Reeves dies, the gem's on the deck, but it will be picked up there by Wadafaka on the Magnus. So, well, I mean, I guess the Mirana was already dead, but a 2-for-2 trade, I think they're in the middle lane. The support's getting blown up. Report Magnus, says Reeves.
Well, there's issues, obviously. Shadow Shaman is not a very durable hero, so no matter what you engage on.
Thank God.
Could you imagine?
I don't want to. I could imagine. I don't want to. It's giving me terrible, terrible thoughts.
But
Good to travel on Gyro.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. He's about 6 slotted right now. I mean, his last item is up for debate as far as how...
I guess?
Sorry?
Man, I mean, he's got the Yasha already, unless he discards that to pick up something else.
Manta's good. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of merit to that. I've actually seen a Lake Game Abyssal build just because the damage is great and you still get that...
the stun.
The active stun. The passive one hardly matters on a ranged hero, but it's there. So I have seen Abyssal as a late game pickup, and that's pretty cool. Scotty is in general great on ranged late game heroes.
Especially this game with the Empower.
Yeah, so I like that as well. But yeah, like you said, Manta's fine. And save him for buyback. That's really the important thing. refreshing your BKB would be really good too, as a matter of fact. He's 7 seconds, so he's not bad, but if you can use his short one more actively in the easy skirmishes and use that as a short cooldown one, and then use the big one for the big fight, full 10 seconds saved up, that's pretty huge too. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Divine Rapier is my favorite, but we'll see how big Mantis goes.
Favorite. I mean, go big or go home, right? That's the saying. I think that's the saying. That's what I was told anyways. Well, they're farming out the middle lane. They're feeling a little more confident right now, and hopefully this doesn't just bite XGame in the butt, the fact that they are pushing out on the map. But they're S5, so maybe it's going to be good. They got the Serpent Wards called out, RP looking to land them all. Where is Doom? Doom also around here with that Blink, BKB, and the Centaur Stomp. He needs to Doom out that Enigma. Still priority number 1 for this Doom. J4, though, hiding in the trees, does not want to be discovered, staying where it is safe. He's got 3.2k gold in the bank, looking to go for an Ags. He can actually buy it up right now, but looking for maybe a little over another 1,000 gold so that he does ensure that he has buyback. As Shacklow pushing down the top lane, and Cheshire Cat just going to TP from that top lane to start farming up some Ancients. He's gone into an MKB Crystallis, so his damage is really online. Maybe that Daedalus coming out next for Nature's Prophet, and he's going to be really, really dangerous. As Roshan number 4.
Run up. This is where we really broach into hyper late game, and they're going to go forward in full force. They should be able to take this no problem, as XGame aren't really one to contest the pit, at least not this one. And yeah, we're going to see Cheese given over, and they might even stack it. Will they bother, or do they value inventory slots that highly? It looks like they are going to...
cooldown on Cheese, though.
Yeah, it's a 40-second cooldown. It's still viable if you really care about your item slots, but in this case, they're just going to give it over to the Bane, and that gives them flexibility on who they want to put it on later.
Big items coming out, though. Sheep on the Brew, MKB on the Marana. And what was the last one?
Aghanim Scepter on the Enigma.
Yeah, Aghanim's on the Enigma. Possibly my favorite, besides the potential of a Divine Rapier pickup this game for the Gyro.
Aghanim's Enigma is actually extremely underrated. The Refresher, albeit, is extremely powerful, but the Aghanim's does enhance some huge damage output and would cause Gyrocopter some issues if he couldn't get his entire health bar back in lifesteal in 2 seconds time with this Satanic.
Yeah, and obviously that Midnight Pulse damage is going to be magical, so I mean, as long as he has the BKB up when he's in that black hole...
it's universal, dude. It pierces right through it.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, it says magical. I never know in Dota 2 because it seems wildly inconsistent when it says magical, but just kidding.
You can alt-click it, or alt-highlight it. That's the
I will.
Secret solution.
Damage goes through magic immunity because Dota. Alright, so there you go. Just kidding. Gyro is not safe. Neither is Cheshire Cat, potentially.
Boy.
Maybe it's the Doom. Cheshire Cat will throw the sheep off. The relocate comes in. Now the Brewmaster is here. Cheshire Cat is not going to be living through this. He will go down. Doom used, but caught. And the Doom. It's 2 for 1 right now. Buyback available on the Prophet. And Prophet will throw out the buyback, pushing into the bottom lane. Black hole onto 3 with the Midnight Pulse. Gyro's dead. BKB there. Wadafaka, though, dies in the Midnight Pulse. Buyback here onto the Magnus, as well as the Gyrocopter. BKB being enough immediately, looking to push them back.
I don't know why the Wisp didn't relocate the Doom out. He obviously would have died, but it would have wasted a lot of time. Now Wadafaka is going to be dropping down quickly. Will survives just barely, thanks to his Force Staff, but if he drops a second time, that's game deciding.
Yeah, Doom still has his buyback available, waiting for the last moment before he has to buy back and a TP in here. Doesn't have Doom up though, so it's not much more than a walking Scorched Earth and maybe a War Stomp here for the time being. But the Eidolons are back up. Tree ends in another second. Tier 3 tower already down. Cheshire Cat will jump forward. Sheep up, Stallcat. Stallcat will fall. No buyback. 90 seconds now in the grave, and while that should be the game, no GG. There it is. Wadafaka gonna throw down. GG.
The Gyrocopter's still alive. I wouldn't call it at this point, but he knows he can't 1v5.
GG.
Mantis, he doesn't want to tarnish his KDA right now. He's not even going to try to hold the fort.
For the stats, man.
No, this was a pretty wild game. I think we took a little light of it because there were some wonky plays, a little bit of questionable decision-making across the board, but in general it was fun. It was what you'd expect from Starladder Europe, and I had a great time casting with you, man. I mean, the Roche control, obviously, I think was a big aspect to it. The fact that they got 4 in a row, especially one so early, that's
4
pretty huge.
uncontested in a row.
Yeah, not even close there. But Yeah, and the way they broke apart the fight was actually pretty huge. Like I kind of blamed X Game in the sense that they weren't fighting together, but it was a lot in part the aspect that PR were always making sure they fought apart. They forced a 2v2 up on the top lane. They continued to push down on the bottom lane while that was going on, and they wanted to make sure the fight was broken up. The impact of the RP plus gyrocopter was minimized, and they seem to have succeeded in that endeavor. Although the gyrocopter tops out the GPM, he does not succeed. PR, take the throne and take the win.
And you know why? It's because he's got a manta instead of a rapier right there. Probably wouldn't have made the difference. PR was playing really well, and of course the surprise sheepstick there on the Nature's Prophet caught off a few people after the buybacks and picked them off. Able to end the game. Brewmaster 11-3. Hopefully you enjoy. We got some more games coming up. Next in the line, it's going to be KPG, which I believe is Compass Gaming versus Hellraiser. A little after that, Album Sheet versus Hellraiser, and that'll finish up the day. So 2 more games here, so stay tuned.